Hey guys, how's it going? So 2015 has been a real roller coaster of a year for me. There's been such amazing moments that I will never ever forget. And then there's also been some really sad times that have kind of, put everything into perspective a little bit, and it's kind of just made you appreciate everything a little bit more, and then maybe just think about how precious life is and how we should treat every day as if it's our last, because there might be a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, or a family member you don't see very often, and a day could come where you might never see them ever again, and it just makes you think how quickly things can change in such a short space of time, just like that. I'm mainly going to focus on things that this year has taught me in particular, and how I can kind of use these things or lessons to go forward into 2016 and just hopefully have a better year overall, because this year as a whole hasn't been too good for me, and I've obviously had worse years before, but I've definitely had better. So the number one thing I've learned this year is to worry less about what people think, because no matter what you do, there's always going to be someone who judges you. And I think in general, you'll be a lot happier if you just kind of do your own thing and worry less about what people say about you or to you, because it doesn't matter. It's important to remember that there's always going to be someone going through it the exact same as you, or something worse than you even. I think it's really important to sort of keep it in mind when you're saying certain things or acting a certain way around people, because you never know what they're going through, and there could be so many things in their head that they can't express or they can't talk to anyone about. And a single thing that might seem really silly to somebody can really impact upon someone's life. So I think it's important to just kind of bear it in mind. Bear in mind other people's feelings and what they're going through. Another thing I've learned this year is that moving on isn't as scary as it seems. For months and months, I thought that I was never going to get over my past relationship and that I wouldn't be able to forget about it and, kind of put the memories to bed. But at one point you just come to realize that life goes on, and as an individual you have your own life, you're two separate people, and you can go your own way. But one thing that's important to remember is that I will never ever forget any of the times we had or any of those really, really special memories that I hold. Hate gets you absolutely nowhere. I've been harboring a lot of hatred and resentment for a few people over the last few months, and it's kind of brought down my personality overall, because there's so much hatred and negativity that it just kind of makes you a really spiteful, bitter person. And sometimes people just don't want to be around that. Like, they don't want to be surrounded by negativity. They want someone who can, stay positive. And I think sooner or later, if you're holding a lot of negative feelings, at one point they're just kind of come spilling out, like whether you're crying or whether you're, throwing things, breaking things. And obviously it's never a good decision to keep it all in and not talk about it or try and fix the situation. So that's what I've tried to do over the last few months. There's been a few people that I've just gone to, just like, we've got problems, we need to solve them. How can we go about that? And I just think having done that, I feel a lot better about myself, because there's no hostility between us anymore, and, it's just kind of back to the way it was before. When my family moved house a few months back, I thought it was the end of the world, because I'd grown up in that house and so many memories had been made there, and it's gotten to a point where, we're just getting comfortable in the new house and we're going to make new memories and have really special times in the new house as well, so it's not always a bad thing to leave behind old memories. Another thing I've learned this year is that a lot of my friends weren't actually proper friends at all. A lot of people you thought had your back before have turned around and stabbed you in it. So at one point you just kind of have to look at your friendship group and work out who the real friends are. There might be a really big group and only a few of them are proper friends, but surely it's better to have ones that you can count on than ones that talk about you behind your back. Surprisingly, it's actually the people you weren't necessarily the closest to in the beginning that actually turned out to be better friends, because they'll always defend you and try and see your side of things, and if there's a fight between two people, they'll be the ones that don't necessarily pick a side, but kind of just try and kind of resolve the problem without getting too involved. A lot of people are extremely two-faced. I mean, it's taken me years to actually realize it, because I generally like to see the good in people and think that sometimes people are just misunderstood or whatever. But there comes a time when, they might act friendly, but they're the ones that are stirring things up and causing the most problems. They're just not people that you need in your life. And the final and most important thing that this year has taught me is that some people might not be in your life for very long, but they'll always be with you and you'll always have really lasting memories of them. A really good friend of mine passed away back in August, and for a few months it affected me really badly, and I found it really hard to talk to people about it because it's always a really hard thing to bring up. It's a thing you can never really be prepared for, and you've just kind of got to focus on all the good times that you had together and try and stay positive as much as you can. So that's it from me today, but if you like the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Tumblr, and anything else you want to. I hope you guys have a fantastic new year, and until next time, bye!